If my family had a reality TV show, we'd have more viewership than the Kardashians. I'm the youngest of 7 half-siblings. Yeah, let that sink in. We're more complicated than the Brady Bunch. Julia, your life seems so fun and so energetic and exciting. Sure, I do a good job painting that picture on social media. I am extremely blessed with parents who are happily married and are extremely loving. I have an older sister who I'm really close with, and she's expecting a baby girl. I do pretty well in school, and I'm an entrepreneur as I own my own photography business. So sure, if you scroll on my social media, I do a pretty decent job of painting that picture of perfection. But what most acquaintances do not know about me is that after my 16th birthday, my older brother Brett passed away at the age of 29. I share this with you because it is the toughest hardship that I've ever faced. But the lessons of life that I've learned from that season of grief and loss, I want to share a little bit of what I've learned through that experience with you today. A lot of that season is a complete blur, just stuck in confusion and depression and anger and all the anxiety in the world. But one sound voice that I do remember in that season was my pastor telling me, Julia, you are going to use your story to be light to other people going through the same thing. Pastor Todd, you were right. James says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. For it is the testing of your faith that produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be complete, lacking nothing. Notice the author didn't say, if you face trials of many kinds, but whenever you face trials of many kinds. Pain, trials, hardship, it's inevitable. How are you going to persevere? So trials lead to testing of your faith, lead to perseverance, leading to completion. I want to focus on the word completion. It is teleos in the Greek, which means maturity, perfection, onto completion. It's a process. And surely we will not reach teleos on this side of life, but we can sure as hell try to strive for it. As I think of maturity, certain imagery comes to my mind. I think of this story. I went to this small group at my church here in Harrisonburg, and it was at my pastor's house. And before our Bible study, we would have dinner. We'd sit around the table, talk about life. The Bible studies, fantastic. I can smell it now, the sweet smell of Christmas. But the best part was that it was the brown sugar walnut chocolate chip cookie goodness. And Sue, a mentor of mine and the pastor's wife, would put the cookies right in front of me. And I said, Sue, you know I'm type 1 diabetic, and I'm the worst person to be diabetic with the dysfunctional pancreas and no discipline. Why'd you put the cookies right in front of me? And she said, well, self-control is the fruit of the Spirit. What? Mic drop. I was like, oh. What she was referring to is Paul writing in Galatians in the New Testament, saying that the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and, you guessed it, self-control. What is a fruit? Well, it's a finished product. It's a crop reaping harvest. It's a process. You can't just be gentle, have love, be kind, have self-control, You cannot pour from an empty cup. And the cool thing about fruit is that it starts as a seed. I think we all learned in kindergarten how to take care of a plant. You need proper sunlight, good soil, water it, maybe add a little nutrients. You have to nourish it. Put it in an environment where it can grow and it can thrive. I think our souls are very much like that. Who here has accidentally killed a succulent and was a bad plant mom or dad? I'm sure there's many of you not raising your hand. But let me ask you this. Why did the succulent not survive? We probably forgot about it, put it in a dark corner, maybe didn't water it, nourish it. You cannot sit at a table and consume fear, consume anxiety, and consume guilt, consume shame. You are what you eat. And you cannot walk away feeling strong and courageous. That's just not how it works. That's why it's so important for us to take care of ourselves and nourish our souls. And one way to do that is to surround ourselves with people and a community that we can walk through the hard times together and celebrate the victories together. To speak truth to one another and to nourish our souls. We are made to live in community with the Holy Spirit and other people. Jesus put it this way: the two greatest commandments are to love the Lord your God with all of your heart and to love others as you love yourself. Let me ask you this. How can you love others if you're not loving yourself well? Again, you cannot pour from an empty cup. When service to others comes from a fruitful spirit, the great thing is the fruit comes from a seed, but the fruit even has more seeds. So serving from a fruitful spirit, we are planting seeds in the lives of the people we interact with. Sometimes we're not going to see the fruit that we plant. But the beautiful thing about building a legacy is that you planted those seeds in other people. Who are you going to be a light to with your story? Who are you going to plant seeds into and pour into and speak truth to? Who are you going to surround yourself with to conquer in victory through the most hardest seasons of life? I promise you, serving from a fruitful spirit makes hardship so much lighter when you're not walking alone. May God grant you the serenity to accept the things you cannot control, the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God bless and thank you.